Doing it live?
Fuck it.
Oh, we're doing it live. All right, welcome to the Football Reporters Week 2.
Week 2. Crazy.
Yep, after
What a week.
You can say that again. What a week.
What a week.
So let's hear.
Marty's sad that it's already passed. Well, 1 week down.
1 week down, and everyone overreacting to everything. After week 1.
Yes.
All right, let's get started here. Start here with Thursday night, the opener. The New England Patriots, in a stunner, get upset by the Chiefs 42-27. Kareem Hunt had over 200 total purpose yards after fumbling on his first play.
It's kind of like that set the tone for the Chiefs.
Yep, setting the Patriots missing on 4th down. Brady overshooting guys. Alex Smith actually hitting his targets.
He was really accurate.
Poor offensive line play for the Pats and poor defensive play for the Pats, especially in the fourth quarter when they get scored more points.
Tyreek Hill missed only one. Went 8 targets, 7 receptions for 133 yards and touchdown.
Including the big 90-yard bomb.
Oh, beautiful pass.
Yep.
Kareem Hunt caught all 5 of his targets for 98 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And he also rushed for 148 and a touchdown.
It's crazy with Kareem Hunt. First play, fumbles it. Looks like it's going to be a blowout in New England.
Yep.
We were all excited, and then
the Chiefs stop him on 4th down, which changed
the momentum. And then Kareem Hunt comes out. Next play, the rest was history at that point. Couldn't stop him.
Yep.
Couldn't do anything. First of all, the Patriots couldn't do anything in this game.
On defensively, they couldn't stop anything. It's just when Dante Hightower went down. Which news on him is that he's probably going to play this week.
He's probably going to play. It's like a minor MCL sprain. They say the extra couple of days really are going to help him out here, and it looks like he's good to go. And it could change, as I think they practice today or tomorrow, right?
Yeah, they practice today.
Are they already in New Orleans? Were they?
No, they're still here.
Okay,
they don't leave till Friday.
Okay,
they don't fly out till Friday.
So I'll have to check the injury report out. But
as for speaking of injuries, the biggest injury coming out of this game is the injury to safety Eric Berry, who had a fantastic game. I think he was the best player on the field.
Yeah, hands down.
He shut down Gronk. How many people can say that he manhandled Gronkowski?
He did. That's a mega loss. You don't for the Chiefs. You don't a player like him, who can diagnose things on the field as you go along. They don't come around very often. I mean, you have your good safeties, and then you have your great safeties. And Eric Berry is a great safety. They said a couple times on the broadcast he saw what the Patriots are doing, and he changed up defensively to match up with whoever. It was Gronk.
Yep.
And it's the amount of how quick he picked up the game plan like that. That you can't replace.
No. And
Mike Gillisley with a good debut for the Patriots.
3 touchdowns. I don't blame him for the 4th and 1. I think the offensive line just missed their coverage.
I would have liked to see him bounce it out, kind of go against the offensive line, because they were in the same play twice.
Yeah.
And my dad said, you be sneaking. I don't agree with that, because I don't want Brady to get killed.
There was 9 guys on the line, and
all of them are Pro Bowlers.
Yeah. So the Chiefs start out the season in a big stunner, winning 42-27. No one gave him a shot. They gave him a Foxborough and just punched him.
I'm happy it happened.
Number 19-0.
No more 19-0. I'm sick of hearing it.
We're not even 1 week in.
Hey. I was sick of it weeks ago.
Gotta do a Gunner talk. Gunner talk.
I'm done with it, and I'm happy that we did lose. All
right. Next is so now for Sunday's slate. Starting out with the Oakland Raiders defeating the Tennessee Titans on the road, 26-16. Okay, this might go on to you moron, Mike Mularkey. You moron.
Outside kick to begin the season. First kick of the season,
and
onside kick, and it gave the Raiders excellent field position.
If it works, he's a genius.
Yeah.
If it fails, you're a moron.
We don't do that the first kick of the season.
Do it in the Super Bowl, damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Sean Payton did.
Although Marshawn Lynch with a pretty good comeback.
76 yards rushing. Derek Carr threw 2 touchdowns, one of them to Amari Cooper.
His first run of the season, he bowled over 4 people.
Yep.
So that's pretty. Beast mode's back.
Yep. As for Mark Mariota, not a bad day. 256 yards, but he did most of his work on the ground, scoring the touchdown.
25 of 41 is pretty brutal for him.
It's hard to me to say this, but the big story coming out of this is the kicker. Because Sebastian Janikowski went down with a back injury. So
Giorgio Tavecchio actually got the game ball for the Raiders.
Yep.
He was money. Absolute money. 4 of 4. Hit a absolute bomb of a 52-yarder.
Yep.
Went straight right down the middle. He was excellent in that game. And they did place Janikowski on injured reserve.
Yep.
So looks like Tavecchio's the kicker for 8 weeks.
Yep.
That's when they said he can come back.
Yep. So it's a big game for the Raiders. Big win against a team that I really like, the Tennessee Titans.
I like the Tennessee Titans do a lot. Very skilled team. First game of the season. I wouldn't be worried if I was a Titans fan. Get the kinks out of the way early.
Yep.
That's usually what happens in game 1. There's a lot of miscommunication that you clear up in the coming weeks.
Yep. And speaking of kinks, oh man, the Ravens shut out the Ravens 20-0. Terrence West.
The Ravens shut out the Ravens.
Ravens shut out the Bengals on the road, 20-0. Andy Dalton turned the ball over 5 times, 4 interceptions,
4 picks, and 3 of them came in the first half.
Yep, 1 fumble. The Bengals couldn't get anything on offense going.
Couldn't do anything. They got nothing.
Jeremy Maclin, nice debut with a nice, 50-yard bomb or something like that. A 50-yard bomb.
He had 56. He had 56 yards receiving, and I think 50 of them came on that play.
And it's for a touchdown. Danny Woodhead. I guess the big story coming out of this one is that Danny Woodhead is injured. With a hamstring.
They said it was 6 to 8.
Yep.
But Harbaugh came out and said I think it's only he's read it briefly, but it's 4 weeks. So it's not as bad.
Yep. So since he went down, Terrence West came in. Kind of a meandering running back. West. He played in Cleveland for most of his career. Had a pretty good game, 80 yards and a touchdown. And
it also helps that he's playing in his hometown also too. But
as for Dalton, I can't fault him for all of his picks because some of them were tipped.
Yeah,
but
he just looked like shit in this entire game.
Inexcusable. And the offensive line for the Bengals sucks.
Like I said when we were previewing it.
Yeah.
You lose 2 of the best players of their position, and Kevin Zeitler and Andrew Whitworth, and you try to replace them with guys who have been backups and didn't play well when they're backups. It's gonna be even like the announcers are questioning it. Like, can this team even get back to being good? Like, this offensive line is putrid.
I said 8-8 was a high watermark.
It's a high. Yeah, I don't think at the way this offense looked, I don't think they can even win 2 games.
Andy Dalton, Burford and Lewis, and the era is over. Should be.
It should have been over 3 years ago.
Will they? No. They probably won't.
No, they love him.
No. The Eagles defeat the Redskins 30-17. Carson Wentz looked pretty good. Nelson Agholor, as I called him last week, shows me up. He got a 50-yard touchdown pass.
He was pretty much invisible besides that.
Yeah, I know.
He finished with 6 catches for 86 yards and a touchdown, but it was a bomb.
Yeah. Yep. As for Kirk Cousins, was it Kirk Cousins or Carson Wentz that threw the pick 6? I think it was Wentz. He threw it right.
Yep,
he threw it right to the defensive lineman. The guy ran back for a touchdown. Yep. This was the game they're showing on Fox in this area here. Also, do you even still get blood?
Not really.
No, I don't either. The guy's a slug. Doesn't deserve to be.
14 attempts for 46 yards.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, kind of a shocking statistic here, but Kirk Cousins led them in rushing. And Kirk Cousins isn't fast.
Yeah, 30 yards.
Fat Rob had 10 attempts for 30 yards and no touchdowns.
Yep. I think the biggest disappointment for me is Jordan Reed. Only had 5 catches for 36 yards.
And he also has that foot injury again, that toe injury.
Jameson,
every single year he has that toe injury. He has not got it fixed.
Jamison Crowder fumbled. They couldn't. The Redskins, I don't think, could get out of their own way. They could get down the red zone, but they just couldn't punch it in.
Nope.
I think they miss guys like Pierre Garçon, and I think they miss Deshaun Jackson.
Big time. Because they're relying on, I don't think Terrell Pryor had a really good game either.
He only had 6 catches. 6 catches.
11 targets. There's a lot of targets.
As for
that offense is just not the same offense.
As for guys that I thought were big for the Eagles, besides Carson Wentz himself, I thought Zach Ertz was big. He had 8 catches for 93 yards. Alshon Jeffrey kind of disappointing in his debut.
Disappointing. He didn't.
3 catches for 38. And
there was only like the one notable catch.
Yeah, on 7 targets, he was covered by Josh Norman the entire time. But still, you still got to be able to make
You guys still got to be able to beat him.
So yeah, I think that's a massive, kind of a rocky start for him. But
yeah,
I think the Eagles do have a chance to, maybe win the division. They might be.
Also, too, on the injury front,
Ronald
Darby is only out 4 to 6 weeks. No ligament damage.
That's good.
So that gruesome ankle injury they suffered isn't as bad, which is good for the Eagles because they suck at the quarterback position, and you lose, a good young corner like that.
Yep. The Browns with an almost upset, 21-18. 21-18. The Steelers beat going to Cleveland and beat them 21-18.
Cleveland stayed in this game.
He did.
They showed a lot of fight in this game. I was really impressed with them. Like I turned over my brother's friend Kobe, and I was like, the Browns are still in this game.
Yep.
What's going on here? I mean, Deshaun Kaiser did have a really bad interception.
Yeah, he did.
No one was even in the air.
Oh yeah, no, he underthrew it, threw it right to
by about 20 yards.
Threw it right to T.J. Watt. But by the way, what's up with the Watt family? And why do they keep just naming them by letters?
I know, yeah.
Jonathan Joseph Watt. Is that his name? Is that his actual name?
No, Justin.
His name is Justin Jonathan White. Watt.
The White brothers.
Jesus Christ. All right. Antonio Brown, the other color. I'm going to get in trouble for that. Sorry. The joke was there. 11 catches, 182 yards. Didn't get a touchdown, but monster
game, yeah.
Le'Veon Bell did not.
Didn't do very much.
I'm sorry, because I know you picked him in your fantasy 4. I'm sorry. Le'Veon Bell had 10 carries for 32 yards, 3.2 yards per carry.
I think it's kind of karma for him. You miss all the pre. I don't think he's, even if he did do the whole thing, training camp, OTAs, everything. I don't think he's going to play in the preseason regardless. When it still kept him fresh. I think him missing everything fucked him over.
Oh, by the way, Cleveland, I got good news. You're not going to finish last in your division this year. Yay! Speaking of, here we go. The Jacksonville Jaguars defeat the Houston Texans, which I will continue to call them that unless they prove themselves, 29-7. So the age-old question of how long it would take for Deshaun, I just don't say Deshaun Kaiser. I meant to say Deshaun Watson to get in the game. A half, yep. It took 1 half to get him to get in.
I mean, this was just a Leonard Fournette defensive show. Leonard Fournette in his NFL debut, 26 for 100 and a touchdown. Incredible start to his career. And on the bad side of things, Allen Robinson, torn ACL.
He's out for the year.
It doesn't matter because Blake Bortles sucks. 11 of 21, 125 yards and a touchdown.
Yep. But this was the Leonard Fournette show. They took control early. And by the way, but in the defense, had 10 sacks. 10 sacks, including a pick 6, a couple forced fumbles. That left tackle division for the Houston Texans sucks, and they need to figure it out.
They do. Tom isn't very much of a savage, after all. So
he's not related to Randy. I'm sorry. He didn't slap into a Slim Jim. That's why he didn't win.
Oh, no, he did not.
Instead, he got crushed.
He did.
He's got absolutely pummeled in the back. Like,
those signings in the offseason really helped. Calais Campbell, 4 sacks.
Yep.
Monster day.
Franchise record.
Like I think he had 8 sacks last year.
Yep.
And he's got 4 so far in the first game of the season.
If he's Houston twice a year, he'll tie it at this point.
So Calais had 4. Dante Fowler had 1. Blake Jackson had 1. Yannick Ngakoue had 2 forced fumbles and 2 sacks.
Yep.
Lorente McRae had a sack and a half, and Araby Jones finished with a half a sack. So that's those are a lot of sacks, especially when 4 of them come from the beast known as Calais Campbell.
Yep. So the Jaguars' plan of spending a ton of money on pass rushers has finally started to pay off after 5 years.
With Campbell this year and Barry Church on the back end from the Cowboys.
Yep.
Finally, and AJ Boye too. Finally, it might be starting to turn around for Jacksonville.
Blake Bortles too started playing.
But then
that still worries me.
11 of 21 scares me, especially he threw for 125 yards. Like that's
and lost his number 1 receiver.
And the most targets anyone got on the day, well, it's tied. It was Marquise Lee and Allen Hurns. They had a combined 3 receptions for 42 yards, all by Allen Hurns. 8 targets between them. Marquise Lee had 0 catches.
The Atlanta Falcons almost were upset by the
pitiful Chicago Bears.
Who almost won. Again,
almost won.
23-17 the Falcons win, and it's mainly off the giant bomb to Austin Hooper for 128 yards of a touchdown. That 90-something yard bomb to Austin Hooper, which was the slowest 90-yard touchdown I think I've ever seen.
Once we get to San Fran, I will update about what's going on there. Okay. Because we had some injury news on that front.
All right. So, as for Chicago, I thought that they showed a lot of fight.
They did.
Mike Glennon threw 40 times.
Tariq Cohen, what a debut for him. He was unstoppable.
Over 100 total yards. He had a touchdown, passing touchdown. Jordan Howard, 13 rushes for 52 yards and a touchdown. He also caught the ball a couple of times for 14 yards. That's not really saying much. I think they were this close. I think they were in the red zone. They couldn't punch it in.
Yep.
But you tried, Chicago.
You tried.
You almost upset them.
And the Falcons didn't play that good at all.
No. Bills, Jets. This is the game on CBS if you were watching nationally. If you didn't have red zone, which I don't.
I do, thank God.
Yeah, you didn't have to sit through this. I did. So
this is a snooze fest.
The Bills win 21-12. 3 interceptions total. It was a disaster on all fronts on both teams, I think. Hey.
It was. It was a miserable game to sit through.
Yep. As for...
You know that Jordan Matthews, the guy they traded for?
Yeah.
He only had 3 targets.
Yeah, for 61 yards.
Interesting.
The story of this is LaShawn McCoy rushing for 110. Which, and he also had, he had about 160 total yards.
Yeah. 5 receiving yards, 5 receptions for 49 yards.
Yeah, so he had
6 targets. So he was targeted quite a bit in the passing game, too.
Yep, so I just say this, the team's a rushing team. The team lives and dies by the running game.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So it's really on LaShawn McCoy, and Jordan Matthews is just there.
He's just there. Charles Clay also had a big game.
Yep.
With 9 targets, 4 receptions for 53 yards and a touchdown.
And I'm a little bit scared for the Bills because it literally took them until the end to finally beat the Jets.
I know, yeah,
the Jets were somewhat competitive in these games. It worries me a little bit.
It was too until the end.
Yep. Carson, oh shit.
The collapse by the Cardinals.
23-35, including a couple of pick sixes from Carson Palmer, including 1 interception. That looked so terrible, and I could throw that shit.
Pretty bad. And then, of course, the biggest injury news coming out of this.
David Johnson.
David Johnson's out till December with a sprained wrist.
Yep.
So
sorry, fantasy hunters.
You're fucked.
Yeah, you're screwed on that. You're screwed on that front. As for the Lions, Matt Stafford is proving that he's worth every penny.
He is, yeah.
Coming back and winning again.
292 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a pick.
Even the pick was deflected.
It was, yeah. Golden Tate, 10 receptions for 107 yards.
Yep. So I say this is a thumbs up to the Lions, and the Lions
they look like garbage.
Which one?
In the Lions did.
Yeah.
Like awful, just really, really bad.
Yep. And then they came up.
The blowout of the century. The pitiful Colts lost to the Los Angeles kind of good Rams, 46-9.
They're not kind of good. They just took advantage of the fact they're facing a bad team.
Scott Tolzien was pitiful.
Yeah, a couple pick sixes in that. 46-9, the Rams won. I didn't even know the Rams were even capable of scoring over 40 points.
I didn't think so either. But again,
this is the Colts.
Defense.
This is the Colts we're talking about.
Two notoriously bad defenses the past couple of years, and the Jaguars and the Rams dominated this week.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Todd Gurley turns out to be really good. He had a touchdown in this game. And Sammy Watkins had 58 receptions. That's a record. That's a new record.
58 receptions.
Receiving yards on 5 targets and 5 catches. He caught all the balls thrown to him. So, yeah, it's been a pretty good day for a Rams fan. I think he'll be smashed next week. I haven't seen who you're facing. They lost. They got blown out by a 3-13 team. How do you feel, Andy?
Washington is who the Rams face next week.
That'll be fun.
And the Colts face the Arizona Cardinals.
The Pack win. They beat Seattle at home.
They won. In a snooze fest.
This game was kind of fun. A little bit of a defensive struggle.
It was.
Sorry, a little bit. It was a 3-0 game at the end of half.
It was. The defense has stepped up big for both teams in this game.
Yep.
Russell Wilson didn't have that good of a game.
Nope.
The run game was nearly invisible
For both teams.
Especially for Eddie Lacy who drew the start. 5 attempts for 3 yards, and then Chris Carson came in and had 6 attempts for 39 yards.
That offensive line is terrible. For the Seahawks.
Horrid.
Yep.
Horrid. Mike Daniels had himself a day.
But with that said,
and Nick Perry both had really good games.
But with that said, the defensive line for the Seattle Seahawks ate alive the Packers offensive line, especially in the first half.
Oh yeah,
sacking them 4 times in the first half.
A sack and a half.
And if it wasn't for, say, like a lucky bounce or a lucky catch, Aaron Rodgers did Aaron Rodgers things. He found Jordan Nelson on the scene, and boom, we're right there. Beautiful pass, great ending of the game. The Panthers, if you're listening on the radio, this was also the game they put on. The Panthers versus the Niners.
The Niners, yep.
23-3, the final score of this game. Christian McCaffrey only had 47 yards rushing. Cam Newton threw a pick.
He didn't look good. McCaffrey.
No. Luke Kuechly had an interception in this game. He picked up Ryan Poyer, who was 24-35 for 193 yards. Carlos Hyde only had 45 yards. Not really that great of a day for the Niners, who sucked.
Yeah.
What's the injury news on this?
I'm trying to find. I had it a second ago. It has to do with Reuben Foster. Oh, okay. With rookie Reuben Foster likely out a month. He's only out a month with a high ankle sprain. The 49ers and linebacker Elijah Lee at the Vikings practice squad. So he's only out a month.
Yep.
So that's not. The injury looked pretty bad from when we were watching it.
Yep.
But he's only out a month, so it's not killer.
The Cowboys win at home, 19-3 over the Giants.
Man, the Giants look like shit.
Without Odell?
Man, they look lost.
The offense. The defense played pretty well.
Only the Cowboys, the explosive offense of the Cowboys, only 19 points.
Yep.
But their Giants offense did nothing.
No, it's a giant disappointment, which, by the way, that'll lead to my segment of 3 Up, 3 Down, which, spoiler alert, they're on.
9 targets for Dez, only 2 catches of 43 yards.
Yep.
Bad.
Minnesota, their new vamped offensive line, defeated the Saints 29-19. The Vikings, I think the story of this game is the Vikings. They played fantastic on both sides of the balls. The defense played great. They held Drew Brees to a relative close, small number for his.
291 and a touchdown.
Yeah, for his standards.
AP only 18 yards rushing. And it was like 3.7, 3.8 yards per carry.
Donkey. Is that what he's talking about? He's talking about like donkey or some shit like that?
I don't even know.
He apparently he said that.
The big offseason signing of the offseason, of course. Latavius Murray, only 2 carries for 6 yards. Meanwhile, Dalvin Cook, who they drafted,
Had
22 for 127. Really good game, 5.7 yards per carry for him.
Adam Thielen, 157 yards receiving. Stephon Diggs, 2 touchdowns. Kyle Rudolph, a touchdown. Got off the ball thrown to him.
And Laquan Treadwell still continues his descent to a bust with only 1 target, 1 reception for 7 yards. Oh, and speaking of bust, too, Kevin White out for the season again. 3rd straight year he's been placed in injured reserve.
Oh, I forgot about that.
He's played a grand total of, I think, 4 games in the NFL.
Yeah, he caught only 4 passes.
And he's been placed in injured reserve again.
Sam Bradford, 27.
Ending at the season once again.
Yep.
Of the promising receiver drafted 7th overall.
Sam Bradford had 346 yards and 3 touchdowns, which was pretty good against the Saints defense. Granted, it's the Saints.
It's the Saints defense,
But
but
still,
it's a good victory for them.
So big win for the Vikings. Big up for the Vikings. Chargers fall to the Broncos 24-21. I thought Trevor Siemian, this was his best game as a pro.
219, 2 touchdowns and a pick.
He also ran in for a touchdown.
19, a touchdown, not bad.
He also ran in for a touchdown as well. As for the Chargers, they came back in this game. They almost won, and they were a field goal away from tying it. Guy misses it. So Chargers go home. Again, like the weird thing is the Chargers can't win the 4th quarter.
I know, yeah.
They can't win the 4th quarter. But the big story coming out of this game, nothing about the players. It's about a sideline reporter on ESPN.
Sergio Dip.
There he is. And there he is.
Having the game of his life.
It's like someone forgot to tell him that you're supposed to sound natural.
Not a robot.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I didn't know if they gave the Spanish version of Forrest Gump a microphone. And they threw him out there to talk. Here you go.
So some injury news for the Bengals. Wide receiver John Ross is questionable for Thursday night's game. And Andrew Luck also won't practice today.
That's a good sign for them. They need it. Because Jacoby Brissett's going to be starting quarterback in a couple weeks. Next week. Anyway, let's get started here. With the let's continue here. Okay, so now it's time to talk about. Okay, so go to 3 up and 3 down.
Okay.
So you can give me your 3 teams that you're high on, 3 teams that disappointed you this week, and then we'll move on to next week. So here we go. Who are your 3 up?
3 ups. This might be weird because they lost by Cleveland. Definitely giving up there. Jacksonville. I'm going to go with Chicago because they did show a lot. Show a lot of promise. I mean, granted, I picked 2 shitty teams, but they both played really well.
Yep.
So,
You're 3 down.
Patriots, definitely 100%. They played like shit. They can only play better. Cincinnati, I did not think they'd play like that.
Yep.
And the Redskins.
Okay, so my 3
Absolute
up.
garbage.
My 3 up, the Chiefs. Self-explanatory. Went up to Foxborough and beat the Patriots in their building. The Vikings, who shut down Drew Brees. The defense looked pretty well. And finally, the Lions, who played very well.
They played like shit in that first half.
Yep.
That second half was a totally different team. They dominated that second half. Let's see what the score was in the second half.
They outscored in the 4th quarter. They scored 20 points. 26 to
20 to 6.
Yeah.
Was the ratio. It's 26 to.
Okay. So as for my 3 downs, the Patriots, easy. The Giants, and the Colts. Those are 3 down.
Yeah.
And who was the biggest idiot this week?
Biggest idiot. Marvin Lewis.
Marvin Lewis?
Marvin Lewis, hands down.
Dip.
Dip.
Sorry.
Dip.
Sorry, but it would have been Mike Mularkey, but then he
would have
did
been,
that.
Marvin Lewis for many reasons for me.
Yep.
Because
He should be fired.
you have Andy Dalton.
Andy Reid. You know, Andrew Luck. I'd be more disappointed.
They have Andy Luck there. They had Andy Dalton.
Yep.
They have Andy Dalton. I mean, Andy Dalton's a good starting quarterback. I mean, you could do better than that. At least they have the quarterback there.
Yep.
Like my God, they didn't even. I don't think they game plan at all. I think they just threw them out there. Everyone's like, there you go. You know, you come up with a game plan on the fly.
Okay, now it's time for the picking.
Let's get to those picking.
Yep. All right, here we go. Houston at Cincinnati.
Houston, Cincinnati didn't show shit.
It's near the Houston. So
I'm gonna go with the young gun because I feel like Deshaun Watson can do a lot more in a full game.
I'll go Deshaun Watson as well. Patriots in the Dome against the New Orleans Saints.
I'm gonna go Patriots on this one.
Go Pats, Chicago and Tampa Bay. I'll take Tampa.
Go Tampa. I love Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's awesome.
Baltimore and Cleveland. I'll take the Ravens at home.
Go with the Ravens at home also too.
Cardinals, Indianapolis.
Got the Cardinals. That's a really no-brainer pick there.
Yeah, you know the weird thing is? Despite how crappy the Arizona Cardinals played last week and no David Johnson, they're still a 7-point favorite.
They
on
are.
The road. Philly, Kansas City. Give me the Chiefs at home.
Chiefs, yeah.
All right, Minnesota and Pittsburgh. I think Minnesota pulls up a slight upset. No,
Pittsburgh.
Minnesota pulls up a slight upset.
Pittsburgh.
Tennessee, Jacksonville. Go Titans.
I'm gonna go Jacksonville.
He's gonna pick Jacksonville every single time. I have a good feeling on that one. Buffalo.
It's gonna be again like last week. They got the Raiders. Pretty good game. The way that Jacksonville played last week, it's gonna be a good game.
We hope. Thank God it's not on Thursday night with those piss color uniforms. Buffalo, Carolina.
Carolina. I don't know. I was gonna pick Buffalo, but no.
Carolina. I'll take Carolina.
I don't know.
Miami,
It's the Sheedy McCoy show.
Miami.
Who's off the week 1 bye week, and they have to play 17 straight games or 16 straight games.
Miami and Chargers. Give me Los Angeles. I'll take LA.
Yeah. You know, I mean, Jay Cutler intrigues me, but like, I don't know why. I already know what Jay Cutler is.
New York Titans versus Raiders. Raiders. I think that's pretty.
They're 14-point favorites.
Rams.
Jesus Christ.
Rams and Skins.
I'm gonna do this.
Go to the Redskins.
Give me the Rams.
Alright.
Give me the Rams.
Dallas.
Weird.
Dallas, Denver. In Denver.
Damn, this stuff.
I'm gonna take Denver at home. I have faith in that.
Yeah. I'll go Denver at home.
San Francisco, Seattle. Sorry, but it's not even close.
13.5-point favorites.
Yep.
Holy shit.
At home.
That's the biggest.
The second biggest spread.
Is that the biggest spread of the year so far, or is that the second?
No, second. Oakland and Jets.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, so we just did it, yeah.
Green Bay, Atlanta.
Seattle. Green Bay, Atlanta. Oh, man. I don't know.
Give me Atlanta. Give me Atlanta at home against that crappy defense.
Give me the Julio Joneses.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Atlanta.
So, Detroit.
Now we're back down to one Monday Night Football game, so probably no more of that second crew. Sergio Dipsters won't be there.
Giants at home against the Lions.
I think
Detroit. I'll take Detroit at home. On the road. To win it all.
The road and at home.
Yeah, the road and at home.
I'm going to go with the Giants because I think the Giants will bounce back, and I think fucking Detroit's defense is fucking pitiful. And I think that the Giants will fucking crucify them.
Okay. So now time for Fantasy 4. Want me to give you the score last week because I had tallied it up?
Yeah.
Scored 25 points. I, in her hand, scored 50 points. I doubled you.
That's bad.
That's because Le'Veon Bell and Kevin Mitchell combined for 3 points.
That's bad. That's really bad.
All right, so you pick first since I picked first last week. So what are you taking for your quarter?
Go Brady against Nolans. That's a pretty bad defense.
Yep.
And I think he'll rebound this week. They'll be 6.5-point favorites, which is not surprising, but
yeah. I'm gonna take famous Jameis against the Bears.
it's a great pick.
Yep.
That's a great pick.
Running back.
Damn. Give me Shady against Carolina. No matter you put him against a good defense, he's still gonna fucking destroy.
I will take Zeke against Denver because Denver doesn't have to get great rush defense.
They don't have that good of a rush defense.
Okay, wide receiver or tight end?
I can't do that again.
You're not gonna trust Kevin Benjamin again?
I'm not. I'm limiting myself to one Patriot.
Yep.
Whether it's any form, so I'm not gonna. So my whole fucking lineup is a Patriots.
Yeah.
Wide receiver, tight end, right?
Yep.
Mike Evans against Chicago.
Oh, that's a good time. I'll take Brandon Cooks against his former team. Defense.
Yeah. Whew. Ah, damn. I'm not gonna pick the obvious one there. I'm gonna stay away from that game. Jacksonville against Tennessee should be a good matchup.
I will take the Houston Texans against the Bengals.
I want to stay away from Oakland and the Jets.
Yeah.
That's way too obvious.
Yeah. So I was like, I'll take Derek Carr, I'll take Amari Cooper, I'll take Marshawn Lynch, I'll take the defense. I think we already beat. So there we go. That's our picks. That's our Fantasy 4. Hopefully you do better this week.
I fucking did horrible last week.
You did terrible. I think. Yeah. I did W. I remember I was in the 50s.
That was awful. That was an awful week by me.
Yep. All right. So we're done here. We're good here. Enjoy your football, everybody. New intro coming soon.
New intro coming very soon.
Yeah.
Is it? It won't be this.
No, it won't be not the
Okay.
not the video.
So probably next video, right?
Next video. Next
Okay.
week.
Next Wednesday.
Enjoy your football, everybody.